Just to remind district delegates and committee representation, you have front row VIP seating assignments in the front to be closer to us. Please take your seat. Thanks. Welcome everybody to the April open board meeting. At this time, if everybody would please stand, face the flag. Thank you, Leanne Limes, and the team that maintains our flag up on the top of the hill. That video of our flag portrays the latest, newest flag replacement, so should be good for 7 months. This afternoon is the first open meeting of the new board, and I'd like to begin by introducing the members of the board. And if you would just stand up and introduce yourself, I'd appreciate it. Start with Sandra.
I'm Sandra Gutkinet. It's good to see you all here today. I know I've met many of you. And is there anything else you want me to say, Don? You don't have high energy, not too much. Thank you.
But I'm the newest member here of your board. Thank you for continued support, and I want everybody to support this new awesome board that you have elected. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Don Day. I've been in the board for a year on your Stockwell Road for 1 hour.
Joe
Ganino. Welcome, everybody. I think we have a great team, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do this year.
Thank you all for coming. I'm Gary Burkle. Good to see you all. You're part of our team. I hope we can all work together this coming year to make it a successful year. So again, I'm Gary Burke, your treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. What I was hoping to do in the beginning here is share a little bit of how we got started as a new board. We had our first executive meeting the first Monday after the election to discuss some major tasks ahead of us and how we wanted to communicate with all of you. Tonight, you should see the beginning of a new format for improved communication and better understanding as to what we are working on in executive sessions. Beginning this evening, you will see that we have created the VIP seating in the first 2 rows for our district delegates and our advisory committee chairs. The intent is to encourage partnership between the board and these very important volunteers. The board's been working on an improved agenda structure that's not completely incorporated in the agenda that was posted. mainly because of the reporting requirements of announcing open board meetings. What that all means is management produced an agenda with what they felt should be covered, and the new board had a slightly different focus. And basically, we ran out of time to merge the two board desires and goals. So tonight, the board will cover all of the items on your agenda that was posted, but we will be following the agenda created by the board with a slightly different format. We believe that you will see the new agenda format in the next month's open meeting. The board wants to make this meeting more informative, enjoyable, believe it or not, and shorter. We want to get residents interested in coming and being engaged in the process going forward. We're also looking forward to developing a better relationship with our advisory committees and district delegates, and are scheduling a meeting with the entire board with each group on how to best accomplish that goal, and that should be done in the next week. With the delegates, the immediate focus will be to develop a written plan to understand the changing demographics of our community. You know, we're getting many younger residents in here, many that are still working, and the board feels it's very important to understand our community so that we can schedule meetings at times and services that best suit most of the residents. With the advisory committees, we need to review our existing charters, as well as a charter format that was proposed by Sequoia Grove Consulting during the OPA project. That agenda format has not been approved by the board. We want to develop the agendas, not the agendas, but the charters in conjunction with the committees. Enough's enough. Chris, could you please read the executive actions?
Yes, we have for the April executive action. This report will give the community an update on actions that were taken by the board at the executive session meetings on April 14th, 16th, and 23rd, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. Under member matters, that could be discipline or a request, the board approved the F&B and golf receivables as of March 31st, as well as the assessment accounts receivable as of March 31st, 2025. The board approved the delinquency report. The board reviewed 2 requests for a fee waiver. The board reviewed a member request for a payment plan. The board reviewed a few letters from the members. The board reviewed and approved executive session minutes March 26th. The board received several updates from legal. The board approved the continuation of a couple of foreclosures. The board approved to send the following accounts to the collection attorneys to foreclose on the lien and record the notice of default on APN 440-164-004, 440-260-014, 440-062-019, 419-300-010, 419-370-054, and 419-391-021. The board approved to send the following to the collection attorney to begin the foreclosure process, and these are the APN numbers that were approved: 419-380-052, 419-410-013, 440-082-031, 440-133-026, 440-061-041, 419-320-084, 419-370-015, 419-292-011, 440-141-017. And finally, under formation of contracts, the board received updates from the management company on several items. The board approved the purchase of the replacement engine for the golf course maintenance gator through Stokes in the amount of $10,588.86 to be funded from the repair and replacement fund. The board met with a representative from Labar Oxley Insurance. The board met with their legal team, Fiore Jacobs and Powers. The board reviewed and approved the Securitas analytical and statistical reports and the new format that will follow. The board received updates from CCL. The board met with a representative from Securitas. And finally, the board received an ad hoc golf update from the director of golf. That completes the executive report. Don't worry, Jason will be back at the next meeting to give the report.
There was a lot of foreclosures, wasn't there?
Indeed.
Very disappointing. While you're on a roll, would you please read the consent agenda items?
Excellent. So the here we go. Consent agenda. There will be a modification to the consent agenda. Item B, open session minutes, are pulled. They were not finalized by the time for the board to give ample time for the board to review. So item A, resolution to record lien, and item C, to receive and file the annual audit for 2024 will be the two items that will be on the consent agenda for the board to approve. Under item resolution to record lien, there are 4 accounts that are listed on that. Those account numbers are 0331-01, 0452-02, bless you over there, 0602-02, and 2192-01. So as a reminder, item B, minutes, the open session of March 26, 2025, has been pulled and will be on the next open session consent agenda. The board will be approving under this consent agenda item A, resolution to record lien, and item C, review and file annual audit for 2024.
Thank you very much. Would any board members like to alter, change, or pull any of these items? I hear no changes. I'd like to introduce a motion to approve the consent agenda. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I
5-0. Chris, you're doing such a good job. Why don't you begin the report section with the general manager's report?
Excellent. And Michelle, not there yet. Okay, we'll have one announcement that Michelle will help me with when that person arrives. Now 3:15, we're ahead of schedule. That's good. Okay, update to community on important information as part of the general manager's report. As it was stated, the elected board members, I have to do this officially to comply with the law. Sun Lake's election was conducted on April 10th, 2025. The results then included election of 3 board members, Gary Burkle, Sandra Gutneck, and Joe Ganino. Gary and Sandra's term will end, April 2027. Joe's term will end April 2026. The bylaws and CCR amendment was approved. IRS ruling 70-604 was also approved by the membership. The board then held an organizational meeting after the annual meeting. The results were Board President Don Day, Vice President Joe Ganino, Second Vice President Bob Walter, Treasurer Gary Burkle, and finally Secretary Sandra Gutneck. Association updates. The manager report for the first quarter of 2025 is posted online. The annual audit for the year ending December 31st, 2024 will be mailed to each member. You should receive that before the end of April 30th to comply with Civil Code. Unfortunately, members are unable to utilize gift cards or script in the food and beverage operations. Members could still use these script and gift cards in the Pro Shop. If members wish to redeem their unused gift card balances, please visit the administration office. Staff will take the card, check the unused balance, and process a check that usually takes about a week. Unfortunately, we can't do that with script. You would still need to use script in the Pro Shop. Project updates. As a reminder, in the management report, there's a section that provides members with updates to current and future projects, as well as board initiatives reported to management. Some quick updates. As you know, we did an admin update and coffee with the GM on Channel 97, but the road work has begun for District 14, 19, 20, and 21. Staff is planning to have a slurry seal work done in late September, but that still needs to go through the process of RFP and board approval. A new double-stack cable machine was installed in the South Clubhouse gym. Jason will be collaborating with the vendor to schedule dates and time for that vendor to come out. They will demonstrate how to use the equipment, so stay tuned for updates from Recreation on this. And finally, we have installed a new button to the Sun Lake CC homepage on the website. As you log into the website, you normally would see a message to management below the middle picture of the community. This button is labeled Message to Food and Beverage Management, and members can use this button to email CCL directly on questions, comments, or concerns related to food and beverage operations. So there'll still be the message to management for HOA issues, but there will be a message to food and beverage management to assist with communicating items to CCL directly. And finally, we're just Okay, we are ready for, Michelle, can you assist me with this?
Good afternoon, everyone. Michelle Walter, Marketing Committee.
Come out of hiding.
As you know, we reinstituted the Employee of the Month from the Marketing Committee. So our Employee of the Month this time is Julie Jacobson from Operations. We're proud to give Julie a Visa gift card for her outstanding job performance. Since taking over in January, Julie has done an amazing job keeping up with work orders for the RV lot and all while helping with items outside of the operations department. Julie is a delight to work with and always has a positive, can-do attitude. Management has received a number of kudos from residents over the past couple months regarding Julie and her attention to the issues that they have brought up. It is for these, as well as a number of other reasons, that we are recognizing Julie Jacobson as the March Employee of the Month. So, Julie, congratulations. Here's a $50 gift card. Thank you. So I just want to also let you know that there are slips of paper in the lobby, the restaurant, the lounge, and the sandwich for residents to fill out and select an employee whom they feel should be recognized for their job performance. Again, thank you, Julie. Funny through it.
Very good. To continue with the report section, do we have any reports from sub-associations? Yahoo.
You go.
Go, Doug.
Oh, I'll just let you know we had a meeting, not a meeting, we had a party a couple of weeks ago, Gene. I think it is now. And it was very successful, and we had an auction. And for those of you who have never been to a sub-association auction, next time you hear that we're having one, stop by. They are more fun than you can possibly imagine. Great time. Thank you.
And Doug, what association do you represent?
Okay. The Fairway Villas.
Thank you.
Started to say District 10, but it's Fairway Villas. My wife still hasn't got that figured out.
Neither do we.
So, look at this sitting trick.
The the sub-associations are a really important and interesting component of Sun Lakes, which quite honestly up to now has been kind of a mystery to me, and I think maybe others. So I think it's important that we work with them and understand them and their interrelationship with Sun Lakes as a whole. I'd like to introduce a motion at this time to request management to present a summary of the sub-associations and Sun Lakes community, which was presented at the new board orientation meeting. I'd like request that be presented at the next open meeting. It was very, very interesting. We got a summary of the three different associations, how they interact with the community, how they run their financials, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and I suspect that many of us might like to hear that information. So if you could kind of put that together, Chris, for the next meeting, I think that'd be great.
Right now, please.
Thank you.
That's it.
Do I need a second on that? All in favor? Very good. Okay. At this time, Cal Martin, Delegate Assembly report, please.
Good. I always have to do that. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cal Martin, and I am here speaking on behalf of the Delegate Assembly. We just had a workshop a couple hours ago, talked about many issues, and some of the issues were the ones that the Master Board has brought up. And we would just like to, first of all, say welcome to your new terms, and we wish you all the best of luck. We're very pleased to have a new board and hope that it works out to the best of everyone's expectations. One of the issues that you raised is that you wanted to develop a better working relationship with the District Delegate Assembly, and we have talked about that in the meetings as well. So it sounds like right now everybody is on the same track. A number of other things that we talked about I will reserve until later, and hopefully we can discuss those at the meeting which you have proposed. So I'll be back to you on that as well, and thank you very much.
Thank you. City of Banning report. Is our mayor here this evening?
Back.
Sacramento? Okay. Gary, you're on Treasurer's Report for the month.
Gary, I don't have the missed the little piece, so you just tell me to change the slide and I'll change it. I think Adnan took it away. Thank you, Adnan.
All right, thank you, Chris. I'm Gary Berkeley, your treasurer, and thank you all for being again today. This is my treasurer's report on the March financial statements.
Hang on, Gary, can you just wait? Adnan, can we get that on the screen over here, please?
I figured you'd have it memorized by now.
Oh, he's got it memorized. I just want the people to see the bullet points.
You gotta turn on the computer.
Yeah, the computer's on. I got it on the board's TV. You don't have it on the main TV.
You speak that language in English.
I can ad lib if you want.
If you want to go ahead, Gary, we'll catch up on the slide presentation.
Yeah.
Public won't be able to see it, though.
What I will say overall with regard to March financial statements and through March, we're actually off to a very good start because for March, we actually had a surplus. Obviously, that means our revenue exceeded our expenses. Our income was greater than our expenses and by $233,090. So March was a very good month. A lot of our expenses were down for the month. There's only one or two that were up, and the ones that were up are pretty much explainable. For example, we probably under budgeted for Spectrum because we expected the contract with Spectrum to get put in place earlier. It just in fact got put in place. We signed the contract on March 28th. So we will realize from that two very positive things. One will be a rate reduction in our monthly rate with Spectrum. It'll be just around $58 per household per month. And in addition, we're going to receive a sizable incentive payment from Spectrum, which you probably heard about already. But those things combined are going to help our financials tremendously. So, like I said, we had surplus for the month of March of $233,000. In year to date, we've have a surplus of $462,641. So those are very positive numbers, and that's better than we've done at the start of 2023 or 2024. Our cash position was actually improved, and that's driven mainly by the fact that we have a surplus. So our cash position in the operating fund at the end of March was $1,031,664. Our outstanding bills were slightly above, slightly about $400,000 above our cash position. But when you add in receivables, money coming in, and the cash, the receivables and cash exceeded the bills by $119,000. So we're sort of positive current position. And the amount that we owed for service at the end of March also went down from last month. And at the end of March, we owed for service $681,000. So when I compare, and I'm on all the way to the third page. There you go. So if I compare the last 3 years and what our net income year to date was the last 3 years, you can see that March of 2025, we're doing better than the last 2 years. We are, and one of the reasons why our bills still exceed our cash and receivables by a small amount is that we did start the year. Last year, we had a deficit, so we're working our way out of that. But when you look at the last 3 years, we're doing better this year at the start of the year. So hopefully that will continue. So if you go to the next slide, and I don't know if you can all see this, but that basically shows you, as I said, that we had in the column on, oops. See that.
And ownership of the institution.
I'm going to have a hard, there we go. Oh, and this is just repeating what I've already said in the sense that, you know, you see March column there, March 2025. That was our revenue. The top number is the monthly dues, $1,086,000. And it goes down, and we then have enough cash when it shows HOA income or enough income to cover the loss in golf and the loss in food and beverage. And over on the right, you can see, like I said, utilities are one that are in the red, 54,000 over budget, and that's driven mostly, like I said, from the Spectrum contract that we're paying more than expected because of the timing of the contract being signed. But otherwise, if you look at the bottom line in the right column, we're 266,906, better than budget. And the only other part of the operation that we're under budget is the 26,238 with respect to food and beverage. So with the combination of the Spectrum contract and the cash we'll get from that, and hopefully, better performance in food and beverage this year, we should be, well, at least we're off to a good start. Let's put it that way. Next slide. The next slide just shows the last few months comparing cash and receivables to our outstanding bills. And like I said, if you look at the right column, March 2025, our cash and receivables, $1,530,000 compared to the bills of $1,411,000. We're positive there by $119,515. So we're moving in a positive direction. Next slide. This, and like I said, we finished our audit for 2024 just recently. Like Chris said, we just received it. We received and filed and accepted it. It was a clean opinion, so to speak. It was unqualified, meaning our financial statements, the auditor agreed they're all correct. But the one thing the auditor pointed out is that we did have a deficit in our operating fund at the end of 2024 of about $800,000. So we're still working our way out of sort of being in the hole. So, and so at the end of March of 2025, even though our assets, receivables, and cash exceed the bills, compared to last year, we're still working our way out of it. But I think we're moving in a positive direction. The next slide. The next slide just shows what we put into, because the two things that where your dues go, one is the other graphic that I showed in the revenue in the operations. The other part of your dues goes to the repair and replacement fund. So in March, $194,150 of the dues went into the repair and replacement fund, and you can see that fund had a net. Let's point out the second line there is the reserve replenishment fund. So we took in $41,700, and year to date, $114,570. These are from the reserve assessment when people purchase a home in Sun Lakes. Investment income is shown there, and the expenditures are shown there. Then the next slide is the capital fund, which shows the same, but there's really hasn't been much activity in the reserve fund. In the capital fund. Can you go back one slide, Chris? I wanted to point out that at the end of March, we had $12,689,746 in the, that was cash in the reserve fund. Next slide is the capital fund, and at the end of March, we had $1,335,000 843, and the capital fund. And then I just, on the next slide, wanted to go through some of the expenses, or not expenses, but expenditures, let's say, out of the reserve fund, just to show you what, as an example, it's not a complete list, but these are the major items. So there was tree work basically on the golf course, $48,000. There's a chairlift put on in the South Clubhouse pool, $8,000. In this ballroom, there was money expended for the audio system in the ballroom, restrapping a pool, furniture, golf cart batteries. I'm not sure what exactly chemigation system is, but so there's some water softening expended. Okay. There was work, brush cleaning up on Breckenridge. I think some of that was mitigation efforts to try and protect from fire. So, coming into fire season, there was work done up there. There was some work that carried over on the Sand Wedge into 2025. Shades for the North Clubhouse and admin building. Anyway, you can see the whole list there. I can read to you, but you can see it. But I just wanted to point out some of the major things that, obviously the board deals with, management deals with, and these are expenditures so far this year out of the reserve fund. Anyway, as always, if you have any questions, send me an email, give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Next on the activity here is a presentation from Rachel Saucedo, Regional Director of Operations for CCL Hospitality. Rachel?
All right, good afternoon.
Gary.
Hello.
Oh, come on.
Good afternoon. Oh, I wasn't close enough. Nice to see everybody. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate being here. First off, there we go. I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to our newest team member at CCL here. His name is Alberto Ortiz. He's our new food and beverage manager. He will oversee all things guest-facing front of the house. So he'll oversee all the servers and our Linda and Angel Ligger supervisors. So when you see him, he started last week. So some of you may have already met him, but if you see him, say hello. He is an experienced manager of hotels and restaurants and healthcare settings throughout the world. He holds a degree in hospitality management from United University in Columbia, and he is dedicated to delivering exceptional guest experiences through strong leadership, teamwork, and innovation. He values communication and employee recognition, creating a positive work environment that drives success. Outside of work, he enjoys sports, reading, traveling, meeting new people, and has a deep love for animals. He is also a very proud dad to a son who now lives in Germany, studying business and math, while also growing his Colombian coffee brand called Polly Coffee. So please say hello to Alberto when you see him. And then I wanted to share some of the things that we have accomplished over the last couple weeks since we started our services with Sun Lakes Country Club. We have been very busy in our food and beverage outlets, so thank you for your participation and coming out and giving us your feedback while you're there. We really appreciate it. We have hired 11 new team members to work in the different dining venues with our expanded hours. So when you see some new faces, say hello and make them feel welcome. And then I wanted to talk about our feedback mechanisms. So many of you have probably seen the kiosk in the Sand Wedge where it has the smiley faces on it. We also added another kiosk in the lounge just on your way into the restaurant. So if you could please, when you're in our venues, stop by and provide us your feedback. Anything, we'll take it all. We'd love to hear it. There's just a simple, you enjoyed yourself, you didn't enjoy yourself, it was okay. There's an initial place for comments, and Javi and I can see those in real time on a regular basis, so we know how things are going. And also, if you've noticed the QR codes on your receipts, that is also linked to this same device. So all of the information that's coming in, all of the feedback that we're getting is all compiled into one place. And we're able to really drill down on that data and see where things are going well and where things are not going well, as well as read and review all of the comments. So since we started on April 7th, we have had 234 responses, which sounds pretty good, right? Except we've served 4,840 people. So we would love to have some additional feedback. We appreciate your patience while we navigate the newness of all of this, and as we stabilize with menu items and understand what you want and what you don't want. We hear you, onion rings, loud and clear. So keep an eye out for a few menu tweaks, but we're really gonna focus on the data, focus on the feedback, and make smart decisions based on what we're hearing from you. Coming soon, we're also gonna have that QR code on a little stand on the tables in the sandwich as well as the lounge. So that same QR code connects to our feedback system. So please share that information with us, as well as utilizing the new button on the website page for information to food and beverage. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. It's kind of exciting to see people coming back into our venues again. So thank you for all you're doing, and I'm sure you'll work the bugs out. At this time, I'd like to invite the committees to provide their monthly update, and I guess we will begin at the beginning of the alphabet with bingo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Royer, and I'm the chair for bingo here at Sun Lakes. I'd like to welcome our new master board and tell them congratulations. Hello to Chris from First Residential and Rachel from CL. Sun Lakes is doing extremely well, and it's thriving. We have averaged somewhere around 215, 225 every Tuesday. That's 215 people. And it's amazing. They're all quiet too. So we like that. Sometimes. The restaurant provides an excellent entree each week for everyone to buy if they choose to. The window is always open, and Angel is there serving us, and she's a rah girl. We walk in the door, and she's like, B-I-N-G-O, and she's dancing around. So she's really good for our PR. She does an excellent job. The committee right now is reviewing what we're going to do with the money we have in our bank account, which is substantial. That money that money is used for charities. We give to charities throughout the community. This year, we're probably going to be giving close to $10,000, maybe $11,000. So we're real proud of the fact that we do that we give to the community. We bring in revenue for our restaurant. So we're also very proud of that. I wanted to mention where the charities are concerned, we keep it in Banning. We try to keep it here. That's where we strive very hard to do that. It's not hard. There's a lot to give. We all have input on the committee. We all talk about it. We give our suggestions, and then we vote on who that's going to go to. They're always very appreciative. We get very nice letters and thank you cards back from everyone. So it's very nice. And I'd like to take this time to thank my bingo committee. They're excellent workers. They volunteer their time. Believe it or not, we all put in a lot of hours to keep bingo going. And we work hard. We all get along well, and I really appreciate them. And I just wanted to give them a thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Karen. I'd also like to add, it was announced at the bingo session 2 weeks ago, we are serving at this time a buffet in the ballroom here for bingo players, but all bingo players are also invited to come and participate and use our lounge and our sandwich prior to the beginning of their meeting. So if everybody that likes to play bingo didn't hear that, that is available. It is open to residents as well as outside participants of bingo, and it's credit card only. But thank you. Common Area Advisory Committee is already up.
Already up. Doug Swenson from Common Area Advisory. Not a lot going on, but I just want to comment, as I've had in the past, the new janitorial service has taken over, and they have a lot of the same people, but the work is all being done, and these facilities are really being maintained. Our inspections are finding less and less things to nitpick about, so that's a good thing. I just wanted to let the board know that we're looking forward to working with you, and if you do have anything about the committees or getting back to the sub-associations, please give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you. EPAP.
Hello, Master Board, First Service residents. I'm Brian O'Grady from EPAP, and last month at the open session meeting, Sherry Flynn, our mayor, was here, and she asked us as EPAP to consider volunteering as participants in an emergency operations plan that they were going to get grant money for. And after that, I had a conversation with her on the telephone, and I found that the city doesn't really have an effective emergency operations plan right now. They have a very well-written plan that was written in 2007 that's on the website, and it identifies who does what, and it was working until 2020, but now the city hasn't put people into the places and the positions that need to be filled in their emergency operations. So we've been practicing every month, talking on the radios with the county, trying to make sure that the city was in the loop, but they actually weren't. And what we need is just for a person to be hired called the Director of Emergency Operations. That person will be the decision maker for things like mutual aid responses and emergency responses with the county. And if that person gets hired, they can fill a lot of roles and they will solve the problem. But we need that to happen relatively quickly. So we're working with the city to try and push for that. We're willing to partner with them on whatever they need us to do. But until that happens, we're kind of out of the loop. The county does have fallback positions, and they say if nobody from the city steps up during an emergency, the county will step in and act for the city. But that's not ideal. And so we're going to just continue to work with the city to keep pushing for that as much as we can. Other than that, we're having our annual appreciation event for volunteers of EPAP. It's on April 27th at the North Clubhouse at 2 p.m. And all EPAP volunteers, including our several hundred zone captains, are welcome to attend. Thank you. Sorry, 2 p.m. April 27th at the South Clubhouse.
Thank you. Library Advisory Committee?
Hi.
Whoops, sorry. Finance. Sorry, Mary Jo.
Thank you. I'm Mary Jo McElwain, Chairman of the Finance Advisory Committee, and welcome to the new board, and of course our General Manager. And our last meeting was pretty much consumed with interviewing 2 new applicants for our Finance Advisory Committee, and we will be sending that approval to the boards for their approval. And in the meantime, we still look at all the monthly financials, and we will be sending our questions to the management and some of the reports that we would like to see. Thank you very much.
Chris, question on the 2 new candidates they interviewed. Is the process that Mary Jo should send that to you or directly to the board?
She should send it to Tammy, Jason, and myself so that we can then interview. The process the board has followed is interviewing FACT members, and then that would be placed on the open agenda.
That's what I thought. Thank you. Golf Advisory Committee, Mike?
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Callahan, Chairman of the Golf Advisory Committee. As we welcome the arrival of spring, it brings with it the return of flowering trees for residents, warmer temperatures for golfers, and a very busy time for golf maintenance. Spring signals the start of many activities on the golf course in preparation for our peak golf season during the summer months. Aerification of the greens has been completed. Maintenance is currently busy applying pre- and post-emergence. The Bermuda grass dormant during the winter is starting to green, and the challenge of keeping up with rough cutting is underway. The mowing priorities for maintaining a golf course are greens, tee boxes, fairways, and then rough. Greens need to be cut in the morning. This is especially important for the removal of dew to maintain a healthy green and decrease potential disease. Mowing of the rough always falls behind this time of year, leading to a challenging, thick, long rough for the golfers and lost balls. Golf maintenance's ability to keep up is a function of staffing and not due to a shortage of equipment. Besides the obvious cutting of grass, other specialized work such as morning setup, irrigation, pest control, and maintaining equipment keeps the crew very busy. Detail work such as trimming perimeter walls, edging cart paths, and weed abatement occurs as time allows. During the spring growth spurt, the GAC asks golfers to be patient as maintenance catches up in advance of Cherry Week, when once again we showcase our facilities for guests and visiting pros.
Thank you. Library Advisory?
Hi, I'm John. I'm the chairman of the library committee. We have completed the reorganization of of all 4 libraries. The books are stickered with color stickers with their publication date in their respective genres. We've added 20 classics to North, and health and wellness inspiration to North and South. We purchased more puzzles. And we organized all the every books were checked against Goodreads.com to make sure they were in the right show in the right category. Most were not. We organized the bio, and we added more bios, military and sports in the North, and it looks really good. The best it's ever looked in the 8 years I've been here. So we'll continue to stick to the books as other books as they are returned. And we're adding 2 more bookcases to the South Clubhouse. They've been purchased and they're being assembled by maintenance, and we'll expand the collection in South. And it looks good, and I got a lot of compliments. So that's it for now.
Thank you. Lifestyles?
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Warner, member of Lifestyles, standing in for Linda Vieira today. A little bit about Lifestyles magazine. It's been a resource for our community for over 20 years, and it's the main source of information for our residents. As we know, it's delivered to everyone free monthly, paid for by the advertisers that appear in our issue every month. We also delight in getting photos from our Sun Lakes friends and neighbors, photos that include trips and dogs and pets, and cover photos as well, plus our very special Friends We Will Miss section in the magazine honoring those who have passed away. Anyone having a photo that they would like to submit to Lifestyles, please email it to sunlakesnews@yahoo.com. The committee meets every month on or before the 7th of the month to finalize the pages for the next month's issue. So all photos and articles need to be submitted by then. Just a reminder also that we still have the joke of the month and the gratitude jars at the reception desk in the main lobby. We publish all the gratitude suggestions in the magazine and give a prize for the joke of the month that's found in the magazine. We currently have a full committee of members, also includes representatives from admin, rec department, and master board liaison. Are you going to be our new master? Oh, thank you. Wonderful. We'll look forward to having you. So on the 7th. Also, a special note, Lifestyles Committee is very, very happy to be sponsoring a special book signing event on Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. in the main clubhouse library. Radio show host and author Ethan Dettenmeyer will be signing his adventure thriller, No Quarter, Kill All Masters, a very exciting book which has received 5 out of 5 stars on Amazon. The book's available to order through Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and some copies will also be available on the day of the signing at a discounted price for Sun Lakes residents. We hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Marketing advisory.
Don, I think we're getting some reverb because we're right underneath this, so I'm going to move this back just a bit.
Do you need a hand?
No.
Guess not.
Okay, hope
That was a silly question.
Is that a little bit better? Okay, I think it was right underneath the speaker, and Hernan has always said, don't be underneath the speaker, Michelle. I'm like, okay. My name is Michelle Walter. Good afternoon, Master Board. Unfortunately, we did not have a meeting this month due to many unforeseen circumstances. We have submitted 2 names to be appointed to the Marketing Committee. Hopefully, they will be appointed today. The Marketing Committee will be working on a brochure for real estate and how to market getting new home buyers looking here in Sun Lakes. We will keep you updated. I already told you about our Employee of the Month, which is Julie Jacobson. Again, I wanted to make sure that you can vote for anyone. It doesn't have to be restaurant. It can be maintenance. It can be the pro shop, monitors, restaurant staff, and people in administration, not administration people. You can't vote for Chris. Right, Chris? Okay.
No.
Our next welcome home is tomorrow, April 24th at 5 o'clock in the ballroom. We have 45 new homeowners attending this dinner. We also have 11 clubs that will be there to greet our new homeowners. The following are the stats on the home sales in Sun Lakes from April 1st through the 22nd. Active or coming soon, 60. 10 condos, prices from $325 to $379. 50 homes, prices from $319 to $595. In escrow, there are 17. 2 condos, prices from $310,900 to $360. 15 homes, prices from $302,400 to $515. Closed escrows are 11, and they were all homes. Prices from $281,700. Who can buy a home for $281? Excuse me, $281. $281,000. Anyway, we had it sold, and also up to $469. So if you take the $2310 times 11, that was $25,400, depending if they were all new home buyers. For March, only 9 closed. Bonnie is the one that gets all my information for me, and she said there was just a total lack of buyers for March. So there was only 9, and so that would have equaled 20,790. So for March and April, a total of 46,200, Gary, went into our replacement fund. So I thought that was pretty cool. We haven't had much luck in getting clubs to participate in having their banner in the sandwich. So if you would like, and it can be any club, it doesn't have to be just sports. So any club can say, Michelle, I'd like to have a banner, and we'll put it up in the sandwich for you. We can create a graphic. We can't do a logo for you, but if you have your own logo, we can do that. So the banners are 24 by 30, and the cost is $25, and the banners will be displayed in the sandwich. Thank you.
Thank you. Master Architectural.
Congratulations and welcome to our new Master Board. I'm Roy Neerman. I'm the chairman of the Master Architectural Committee. Our job is to review all the applications that everyone has submitted for improvement to their homes. We have a lot of new homes coming into this community, and we try to do our best to see that the rules are followed, the homes are painted, that it's an attractive community to live in, and it maintains home values. Our last project is just over, and that was repainting of homes. We've had over 800 applications for repainting. For those of you who received a notice to repaint and you did not, please submit an application because violations for failure to paint are going to be going out. It's the time of the year when people are redoing their yards, landscaping. Just to remind everyone, there's been a change in our rules. It used to be you had to have 50% green and 50% hardscape. That was a minimum. We've now changed that where you can have 70% hardscape and 30% green grass, and artificial turf is considered a green grass or a softscape. If you're planting annual flowers, you don't need our permission. You don't need to fill out an application. But just about for anything else, you need to fill out an application, and it needs to come through the Master Architectural Committee. And we're reviewing between 50 and 70 applications every 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy. Recreation Advisory.
My name is Evelyn Huckins, and I'm vice chair of the Recreation Committee. We have always got things going on. First thing coming up, we have the health fair, and we have coming up the, the health fair is this Friday. Sorry about that. Health fair is coming up, and it'll take place here in the main ballroom from 10 to 1 o'clock. And there's no cost to attend the event. We have garage sales coming up the first 3 Saturdays in May, and that's going to be from 8 to 1. And we ask that if you have a garage sale that you please return any unsold items back to your garage or put them away. Maps will be available at the main clubhouse on the rack. May 23rd is a shredding event, and it'll take place in the parking lot next to the Pop tennis courts from 9 to 12. $5 a box. Weekend entertainment starting in May is going to be scheduled every Friday and Saturday on the veranda. And location is subject to change depending on weather conditions. Sun Lakes Playhouse presents, as you all have one of these in your seat, a play for families May 24th and 25th at 3 p.m.
Thank you. Restaurant and Lounge. Marcia?
My God. I'm still real. Or you can.
I'm determined to pick on somebody here. Go ahead, Dave.
Maybe. I know he's go out today. Yeah, but let's take him back.
We're afraid you might have a complaint about something.
Yeah, maybe. Whoops. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR, and residents.
My name is David Puckett, and I am the chairperson for the RV Storage Lot Committee. I'd like to report we had a committee meeting on April 11th. We received a community update from Gary Burkle, which is very informative and discussed a variety of topics. Thank you, Gary. Is that Reagan? Back up, Lynn?
Adam, bring it back. Look back.
Yeah. Okay, where was I? Our main topic was space measurements in the RV lot. The committee was invited to attend the initial space measurements by a professional team chosen by FSR in measuring lots. We all agreed on the procedure. The measurement will be completed by April 28th, but all new leases are on hold until then. We currently have 8 vacant spots, but have enough people waiting for spots that should fill the lot. Also, we'd like to report the last non-payment RV has been towed from the lot, and we have no new incidents in the lot at this time. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Now, Marcia.
First of all, welcome, new board, and all your new positions. Glad to have you up there. I know that's a fun job, to say the least. So good luck in the next year. The Easter brunch that we just had was very successful. We had 3 committee members and 2 residents acting as ambassadors to help check in and seat those that had reservations. There were a few hiccups, but the nice thing is that CCL has notes on what went well and what didn't, so they can improve for future events. The staff, though, did an outstanding job taking care of everyone. And I would like for you to look for information on the Mother's Day brunch. I don't have anything on it yet, but look for it on the website and through email blast, hopefully coming real soon. Then the regular Sunday brunch will resume this week. If you haven't seen it already, the menu was sent through email blast and it's online and on the Sun Lakes app. Come out and enjoy with your family and friends. And talking about the app, if you haven't downloaded that Sun Lakes app on your phone, it's a real quick and easy way for you to access recreation, golf, and food and beverage information. And if you're having trouble doing that, anybody in the admin office will help you get it loaded. It's easy. Click on it, and you just click on the drop-down box, and you get all the information that you need. You don't need to actually go through the website for a lot of the stuff that you might be looking for. So with that, thank you, and again, good luck, all.
I'd also like to comment on all the help that the Recreation and Restaurant Committee did on Easter brunch. CCL in our meeting today was very complimentary and appreciative of the extra help. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Safety.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Voles. I'm chairman of the Safety Advisory Committee. I'd like to welcome the new members of the board, Sandra and Joe. I know I'll be working with Joe because he'll be the liaison to our committee, and we'll see you Monday, I hope. Among the issues that the Safety Advisory Committee pays attention to, there are 2 that stand out and that we give priority to. These are trespassing and traffic. Our goal is to make recommendations to the master board which enhance both safety and security for all Sun Lakes residents. Regarding trespassing, we work closely with Director Mike Romero and Lieutenant Roman of Securitas, and with Jason Ewalls and Mark Schleiden of First Service to be kept aware of issues that arise. The ever-growing population of homeless outside our perimeter walls continues to be a focus for us. Even though jurisdiction outside our community is restricted, we have been successful recently in having an encampment moved, which was very near the second tee area on the executive golf course. This was with the assistance of the Banning Police Department, and even though Banning Police Department is short-staffed, their Officer Rodriguez and Police Chief Avila have been helpful in responding to requests from us regarding nearby encampment intrusions. Mike Romero and his Securitas staff remain committed to responding to calls from residents regarding trespassing and/or suspicious behavior. Homelessness arises for a variety of reasons. It could be the result of job loss or other financial problems, or it can be due to alcohol and drug addiction or mental health issues. There are many organizations nearby who are committed to helping those who are less fortunate than we are. HELP is one, Faith in Action, Carol's Kitchen, the Banning Office of Homeless Services, and many others. Volunteers at these organizations work tirelessly to help the needy, and we applaud their efforts. The unhoused that Sun Lakers need to be aware of are the addicts and those with mental health issues. The Safety Advisory Committee urges all Sun Lakers to be vigilant and report any trespassers or suspicious behavior to the Banning Police Department first and then to our security. Regarding traffic issues in Sun Lakes, we as a homeowners association are limited in what we can do because we are a private community. The streets here are private, so the police department cannot impose citations for violations. The main concern here is speeding and running stop signs. We as a committee can only urge drivers to maintain caution and obey signs and drive defensively. Securitas can cite vehicles for parking violations, and we as a committee can impose fines for multiple violations. We ask all residents, especially the new ones, to become aware of Sun Lake's rules and regulations regarding parking and safe driving. If you see something, say something. Keep your garage doors closed. Keep your dogs on a leash. Drive safely. Don't speed. And please stop signs.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. The format of this part of the meeting will be discussed with the committees during the board committee meeting that I mentioned earlier coming up. The details of the following marketing and delegate actions are described in the details of the agenda that was posted online. In the interest of time, we've shortened the process a little bit. And Michelle, to your point, the marketing committee would like to appoint the following new members: Diane Arhus and Ed Ahumada. Does the board have any concerns or questions about that? No? I'd like to introduce a motion to approve the two new members.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Okay. The delegate assembly would also like to make some changes. The first one is the resignation of District 9 alternate delegate Barbara Faber. The second one is a change in representation in District 11. Saucy Hyatt, an alternate, and Lori Hazelton, the delegate, would like to switch roles. The third one is the delegate and alternate delegate appointments for District 9. They would like to appoint Linda Vieira, District 9 delegate, and Danny Rugenstein, District 9 alternate. And the fourth one, delegate and alternate delegate appointments for District 20, would like to appoint Wade Sampson, District 20 alternate. Question. Cal, have all these requests been reviewed and approved by the delegate assembly? Whoops. I guess I will assume that that is a yes because it's in front of us. Do any board members have any questions? No questions. I'd like to introduce a motion to approve these actions. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Thank you. The next part.
Question.
Yes, Michelle.
Why more con nerds?
I'm sorry. I saw in here that we had, and you didn't say anything about the resignation of Bob Murray. And I don't know if you didn't see it or...
I did not see that when I put the agenda together. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'd like to introduce a motion to accept Bob's resignation. Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Michelle. It's not a perfect world. The next part of the meeting, we're titling Board Activities and Projects. This is a new section. It's intended to provide the residents with a better understanding of what the board is working on in executive session. That's been an ongoing question month after month, year after year. And please understand, there will be many occasions that the board will not be able to elaborate on the topics in open session, but the intent is to be more transparent to you about what your board is working on. The first topic is a spectrum update. Last month, might have been a mistake to bring an attorney to do it. They're not terribly exciting, but our attorney explained to you that the board had signed a new 5-year contract with Spectrum. We must say that the enthusiasm with receiving $1,663,500 was a little underwhelming at the meeting and somewhat disappointing. I'd like to give you a better idea of how your board worked together to get that deal done. The process began in July when the board was presented with a resolution to approve a contract which included a $300 per house signing bonus, $1 million, and Sun Lakes would receive $750,000 of that $1 million. Through the board's due diligence, we discovered that large signing bonuses were common in 2020 and that we had not been offered those bonuses. So in October, the board made a decision to take over the negotiations and hire a different attorney. And in December, the board president, Bob Walter, requested a competitive bid from Frontier, which came back substantially higher and better than the Spectrum offer that was on the table at the time. Both companies presented their programs in person to the board, with the Spectrum offer of $1,663,500 per house, and the uncertainty of how Frontier could implement their system to resident satisfactions within the tight time constraints. Your board on March 28th began aggressive and working together approved that contract to continue with Spectrum for 5 more years, and you earned $1.6 million cash. That is a summary of that. At this point, we're still expecting that sometime in June we should receive that money, which will go into our coffers to help fund the operation here. The second one is a secure. That's better than last month. Question?
Sorry.
How about at the end? The resident comments, okay? If you haven't submitted a slip, that's no problem. Just ask the question at the end.
Yeah, in reference to that, I would like to thank the entire board. It wasn't just one person accomplishing this. The entire board, including Randy Robbins and Beverly Simmons, who's no longer here. But the board held out. We had been given a deadline back in December. I know that we had a lot of sleepless nights because we were told, take it or leave it, and you're going to miss out on all this money. So, you know, we left it and renegotiated and got a better, much better deal, over twice as much, better rates, better channels available. So I want to thank the entire board for their due diligence and efforts in achieving this for our community.
Thank you. The second topic in board activities and projects is security update. And I'd like to hand it over to Bob, who will explain how we got a project started, and Joe will tell you where we're at right now.
Thank you. So basically, Don and I noticed that the monthly Securitas report that we receive is not as valuable as we would like. It doesn't really address the issues, doesn't let us know what the target areas, the target times, the offenses, and the major and minor, issues and how to address them. So we met with them and we're reformulating that Securitas report. So it now will identify specifically what shift, what time, where the location is, whether it's minor or major, and how we can now address it, as a community. So this is going to be very helpful in the future. One of the other things we looked at was the cost, getting estimated cost from them for additional patrol. There was a concern about patrol at Graveyard. And I've found in my work with the probation department that Graveyard is where most of the abuses take place, not the real work. And if we were to hire an 8-hour graveyard shift, it would cost us $82,755 for one shift. And if we were to do it 24/7 coverage, it would be $165,000. So we will be evaluating that come budget time. We're not going to make any changes in the middle of the year. But the main thing is that we're checking out what they're doing, make sure it's appropriate, practical, giving us the answers that we really need as a community. And I think, with Don's help and the board's review and inspection, I think we're going to come up with a much better plan and a better report from Securitas. Joe?
Yeah, just to add to that, we have met with them, and the new reporting procedures that Bob and Don worked on, I think, are going to be very, very, very important as we start to do a risk assessment of our property moving forward. I believe that these indicators are going to help us greatly when we're talking about spending community money. It's a very serious subject, and I think that with some IA technology and some other things we're talking to them about for the future, I think it's a really healthy start. We're in a pretty good place right now, but the world's changing every day, and we need to change with it. So we'll be looking at it all year long really hard.
Thank you. And just to comment also, once we get this reporting in place, the meeting that we had today at the board, they are putting together the first quarter report by month for this report, and it should become a regular report in the open session security report. So you'll be seeing that on an ongoing basis. The second one is the Procurement Advisory Committee. The previous board saw the need for better control of projects and associated costs and formed a new Procurement Advisory Committee. Unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, it was not successful, resulting in the dissolving of the committee by its members. The committee is critical to the community, and we as a board will begin to develop a plan to reestablish that committee. The first task is to take the committee's original 52-page policy manual, update the content, and get full and complete acceptance from management, the board, and the committee itself. If it is not followed by all three, it will fail again, and we cannot allow that to happen. So that's one of the projects that the board has on its horizon. The next one is the governance policy. We've been talking about that for a long time. We have a version that was approved by the board in April of last year. It is posted on the Sun Lakes website. We also received an updated version from the consultant in July. That version has not been approved, and the board will review the document and decide what to do with that. Many of the items in the July version relate to charters for the committees, and as we already mentioned, we'll be meeting with the committees to review the existing charters, the options that were proposed, and come up with the final charters that works for everybody.
If I could interject just for a second. On the Procurement Advisory Committee, we're looking for volunteers because this is not a brand new committee. We've had it before. We know what needs to be done. Basically, it was a contract review committee. It's having to do with RFPs, and it worked for a while, but at the end, did not for various reasons. So we want to reinitiate and restart that committee. So if anyone has any interest at all, please submit a volunteer form to admin. Thank you.
Thank you for the update. I neglected to ask for help. Parliamentary procedures is also a topic that's been discussed here many times. The district delegates are well into using that. I think it's pretty much recognized in existing charters in the delegate assembly that Robert's Rules of Order has been typically the parliamentary procedure. We're required to operate under a parliamentary procedure per David Sterling. And in our first meeting on Monday after the election, we decided to form a small committee to take all of the parliamentary procedures, those being Robert's Rules, Rosenberg's Rules, there's a whole bunch of parliamentary procedures, and develop a very short, succinct Sun Lakes Country Club policy for parliamentary management of meetings. So that is underway. The board has already approved that, and we'll keep you posted. Technology assessment, that is still on the plate to review. The Delegate Assembly had mentioned concerns and an option of looking at our Sun Lakes website. That is an area to look at. And one of the big ones this year is our HOA insurance problem. And Gary, could you just touch base on where you think we might go with that?
Well, insurance is a big challenge for us. I mean, the problem arose in a significant way towards the end of last year when we got our premium increase. And unfortunately, this was after we set our budget for 2025. We budgeted about $447,000 for insurance. And because it renews at the beginning of the year, and for some reason, we can't seem to get a good estimate from our insurance broker because they say that insurance companies are so in flux in California and leaving the market that no insurance company will give you a commitment ahead of time. So what happened was we got a renewal. I believe it was over $600,000, and we worked with the broker, changed some of our terms on our insurance, and we got it down to about $550,000, but that's still $100,000 over what we budgeted. So as a board, we're going to use the same word as we use a lot. We need some volunteers in the community, as particularly those that know about insurance. And we've had some interest, but we're looking at alternatives. And my gut feeling is that we're going to need to have a situation where a couple of associations or a few associations go together and work together to come to the insurance market with a bigger opportunity for them as a group. But anyway, it's one of those things that we have to work on. Our broker isn't giving us any promises about the future. In fact, he's fairly pessimistic, or they're pessimistic. They used words like, it could be $1 million next year. So we've done things that we think we can do in the community, like putting mitigation efforts up behind the open space. And that's one of the issues for our community, is that we do have open space adjacent to our community, which puts us, unfortunately, aesthetically it's great, but it puts us in a higher risk fire zone, which is affecting not only the association but the members. So we're working on it with as much available time as a board member has to do that. Let's put it that way. Anyway, it's a challenge. It's not funny, I'm sorry, but we're working on it, and we need some help from the community. So if there's anybody that you know, or you have any experience with insurance, please volunteer. Thanks.
Bob, you want to make a comment?
Yes, one of the things that we were discussing with our insurance broker is the possibility of renewing the policy in September rather than waiting till the end of the year and then getting another surprise. If we do it in September, we will be able to factor it in and know exactly what to budget. So that's one of the things that we're contemplating doing, which will help us lock it in so they don't have another surprise at the end of the year. So we'll be good for a year from September, and then it'll be in conjunction with our annual budget. That's one of the things that we're investigating. Thank you.
That's it. FAC reserve reporting. Sandra, if you could touch base on what we have been discussing on that.
Yes, thank you, Don. This is be a new project working with the FAC. When I was on that, it's something in discussion with the chair and the committee in tying what our budget is for reserves this year, the line items that comprise what we're targeting to do, the dollars budgeted, and then what the actual spend is. And then what items are being deferred, and, tracking the number of times or period of time if there's multiple deferrals. So it's a reporting we want to try, or seeking to understand the reserves reporting in greater detail and also formatting that to be able to present to you. Gary presented a list of the items out of reserves today, but wanting to tie that back to our list of items targeted, and of course that'll be kind of an 80-20 rule, right? There's lots of small things and then there's major components where most of the dollars are spent. So really what I have to report today is that this is on the radar, and it's a project we'll actually actively begin with the FAC then starting in May. So thank you. Anything else? Anything I missed?
We've also, the board is also looking to the Finance Advisory Committee to help advise us and get us to satisfy the requirements of David Sterling. There's 5 or 6 items that the board is supposed to review off of the financials every month. So we'll be looking to the Finance Committee to help us do some of that legwork, and it's way too much for 5 board members to do with a meeting 2 or 3 times a month. So we're looking to engage the Finance Committee to help the board. So,
and I would say if there are others with a strong finance and analytical background that would like to join us, please reach out to the chairman, Mary Jo.
Guess that's the common theme tonight. We need some help. The last item basically is the food and beverage transition. Gary and I really haven't talked about it. We've been meeting with CCL every Wednesday for the last few weeks, and we'll continue that to monitor the transition and get input and from them and provide them input on things that maybe we could help them with. Do you want to touch base on anything, Gary?
Well, I just want to say some of the things maybe that Rachel has pointed out to us. We met with her this morning. Like Don said, we're the committee that is overseeing sort of oversaw the whole RFP and selecting a food and beverage management company, has been meeting with them in this transition. And you should know, because we're happy to hear it, that the participation from the members has been very strong. We are actually expecting that our revenue in food and beverage is going to be greater than what we've budgeted for the first month, which is amazing since the first month is only 3 weeks, not 4 weeks. So, but I would say that I hope that people will be patient. There's been some challenges, especially in banquets. I hate to say it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I am, but our residents are a little spoiled when it comes to banquets. It's like a feast that they expect. And, you know, we've tried to very carefully use the word profit when it comes to food and beverage, but the new management company is they're trying to meet the challenge of meeting budget, and they're trying to obviously also give a great experience for our members coming into food and beverage. So I just would say be patient. They have put in a lot of time. They've had to hire new staff because of the increase in volume. And that may be a honeymoon period when people coming in, but I hope it continues. But just be patient. Thank you.
The only thing I'd like to add, Rachel touched base on this when she spoke and gave you an update, but the communication from residents to CCL is critical so that we make the improvements and the changes going forward. Obviously, the menu and the sandwich and the lounge has been very well accepted based on the sales that we're already seeing. But what's going to keep us going long term and keep residents coming back is to tweak those menus, tweak those services, and if there's something particular on the menu you like, that's okay. You should tell them that so it stays in the high point of the menu. If there's something you don't like and would like to be removed, you should tell them. If you have an experience, good or bad, please share it with them, because we do have a management structure in place with a director of food and beverage, an executive chef, and a front of house manager now as of this week that will react to that, and their system will listen. So that's all I wanted to add. to make sure that you guys are comfortable, I know transparency of what we do in executive session has been a big issue. Chris, could you just take a few minutes to go through those items, the board activities and projects, and explain to the community why those are legal to do in executive session?
Sure. So item 1, a spectrum update. That is a third-party contract negotiation update. Civil Code describes third-party contracts as the formation of the contract, also updates within the contract, updates on the service within that contract, possible termination, etc. So spectrum update would be recorded under or would be listed under on the executive session as a third-party contract update. Security update, that would be a third-party contract with Securitas. When the vendor comes in, update on reporting, giving new duties, for example, modifying how the reports should be done, the frequency of the reports, possibly an issue with one of the security officers at the gate. That would be handled under third-party contracts. Now, the procurement committee, the governance policy update, the parliamentary procedures, the website review, and the technology assessment, all of those would be third-party contracts for the management company, as management would receive direction from the board on how to formulate an agenda that satisfies the board's request, how to set the meeting's rules and processes, and implementation of that would be management. The governance policy, how the reporting process would work between management and the board, as well as the website. Currently, it is managed by First Service. If there are any changes to the website or a different direction is chosen, that would then be a third-party contract to management, directing management to make changes. HOA insurance, pretty simple. It deals with the insurance broker, third-party contract. Fact reserve reporting update, that would be another third-party contract management, because the fact and what is communicated to the fact, and as well as management on different reporting requests, modifying how things are done, maybe changing, not doing these reports anymore, etc. That would be discussed and would involve management. So it falls under third-party contracts management. And then finally, food and beverage, pretty self-explanatory, deals with CCL. CCL would meet with the board, go over items that in their contract, timetables, etc., performance measures, and direction given to that CCL Management Committee for Food and Beverage would fall under third-party contracts. So a lot of this items here, that is why it relates to third-party contracts. That's why it's allowed to be discussed under the executive session. Then there's updates that are given by Jason usually at the open session report on executive session actions. That completes that update.
Thank you so much. Okay, these topics as they develop, we are required by David Sterling to give a brief update following meetings involving these, and that was the purpose of this evening, and we'll continue to update you with the progress on these projects. Before I go to homeowner comments, do any of the committees have any questions or comments they'd like to make? Didn't know you were going to be put on the spot, did you? Delegate Assembly, any questions or comments? Yes.
I for district.
You got to go up front.
Sorry.
Good afternoon, members, board. I just want to thank the board for passing on the funding that's coming in from the contract with our TV provider. I understand that we're getting funds for all of the 3 condos, so very much appreciated. It really helps our reserves. So,
well, you are part of the 3,327 homes, so it's only fair that you get a piece of it.
I just want to thank you, board,
You're
for
very
taking
welcome.
that action. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
On the line.
That's why you're up front.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome, new board and old board. I'm a little upset, and I'm going to let you know that you guys asked us for help. You asked our community for help, and we have given help, especially when it comes to Gary. I'm talking to you because you know you've met with my husband, We own an insurance company, and our son now is with the number 2 national company of the whole world. And we do have answers on how we can help save on our insurance. And when you say that you haven't spoken to anybody, you're asking for help, we give it to you. And I'm just appalled because my husband did meet with you and you told us you would look into it because we know we can get this resolved. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I guess the only thing I'd like to comment on that is this board's been in play for a couple weeks now, and we are just getting started on insurance. And we did discuss that your husband participated and involved Gary in his ideas, and we will continue to use those ideas. So there's no reason to be appalled, but we're just starting this project. This is a huge project, and we need more people to help us with that. So thank your husband for that, and we will be in touch as we get further into the project. So I hope that explains the situation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You're going to get your feet wet real quick, so you better learn how to swim.
Cool.
I am representing my District 15. I have had several residents come up to me with concerns, one of which is new homeowners who sign up for the Spectrum contract and receive new boxes and who use actually live stream are not able to have access to Channel 97, which is one of our main forms of information to our district members. So we'd like to make sure that that gets addressed before we actually have some kind of conversion over the Spectrum contract, that everybody needs to come under that umbrella. Or what I've heard is that they have to actually downgrade from live stream or streaming to what we currently have as, in my case, a regular cable box. So we might want to investigate that to see why there's an issue with Channel 97 not being obtained through streaming.
I guess the only comment I would make at this point, this is the first we've heard of that. The contract calls out that we have that service, and there may be an equipment or software issue with the installation. You say this is new residents?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And an old resident. We can definitely look into that and get back to it. Chris, would it be appropriate for them to send a message to management with the details so we could look into it a bit further? Because there should not be a problem with Channel 97.
Thank you. And if you weren't aware, that's my purpose for coming up here, to let you know that it is a concern and it's been brought to my attention.
Well, now it's brought to our attention. But would you please put a message to management if there's street addresses or names involved that have problems?
Absolutely.
Include that so that Chris can have the information to do proper research.
Not a problem.
But it should not, Channel 97 should not be a problem going forward.
Good.
Thank you.
My second concern is...
You get two.
Sorry, only one.
Yeah, it's one complaint per person.
I'll go to the end of the line.
Go ahead, B. Come on, B.
That's what B...
She come up here and thumped me.
See, I'm just testing you right now.
How we doing?
Actually, pretty good, because I'm very happy to be here and be involved, and I think I needed this little push. So, you'll see more of me. Regarding the charges for restaurant, lounge, and sandwich, I've noticed recently that we have a service charge, which we've reinstated. We also have a sales tax, and then we have a service charge tax. And I don't believe that we've seen that before, and we're curious as to why 20 cents or whatever amount is taken out is part of the bill. What does that refer to? Where does that tax go? What does it represent?
Chris, go ahead, Gary.
Well, that's based on state law. State law says when you have a mandatory service charge, there's actually sales tax on the service charge. Now, probably in the past, or maybe in the past, I'm not sure, it might not have been broken out, but I guess on...
So the service charge to us has been explained as an automatic tip for the service. If they are being, so you're saying that the tax on the service charge is actually the government taking out their portion of the tip, so that we actually are, our tip going to them is actually being taxed, so they have to report it?
Well, actually, they do have to report it, but that's a different issue. What I'm saying is it's subject to sales tax. Yeah,
But we're already paying a sales tax on this.
Well, it's just calling out the sales tax on the service charge.
I thought that was no longer an issue for the state.
It still is an issue. It's state law.
We looked into it. It's state law.
But maybe, Chris, can you chime in on this?
Talk to me, Chris.
Okay, B. Yes, don't hurt me. No, and I haven't seen that. We're not involved with that POS system, but where it was, that is the service charge is a taxable transaction. Now, before, when under the POS system that we utilize with First Service, that tax, along with the meal tax, would just be reported under tax. What they're probably doing is they're just breaking out the tax for food and then what sales tax is applicable to the service charge. But the service charge is under Franchise Tax Board a taxable item.
So it's taxable income for the server?
No. The server's still going to get the gratuity, and how they split it, I don't know. But the sales tax, it's reported as taxable income, so to speak, by the state when they look at it. And so when you do your quarterly tax filings and your deposits and everything, you have to incorporate not only the meals you sold and alcohol, you also have to say what was the service charge and then remit that to the state. It is required. State requires their pound of flesh, so to speak.
All right, so I should not be the one up here addressing this because I'm not very good at math, and you just kind of blew my mind away.
B, why don't you head up to Sacramento? I'm sure they can.
Oh, I need an appointment with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You better have a bodyguard.
I look forward to it, B, always.
Thank you, B.
I'd like to actually say a little more on that. I mean, when it comes, that basically is the law is that if you have a discretionary tip, in other words, the customer can determine what amount of tip they want to leave. That is not taxable, and so everything changes when you put in a mandatory tip. When you have a mandatory tip, it's not only taxed for sales tax purposes, but it also creates payroll tax issues because the person is getting an automatic tip, which is included in their income. Now, that probably gets more complicated, but the point is that having a mandatory tip creates additional taxes, both from the standpoint of sales tax and employment taxes.
Is there an appointment with Gear?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you done, Gary? I just want to make sure you're done. Thank you, new and old board members. Thank you, FSR. Thank you, delegates, and thank you to members. Dolores Doherty, District 4 delegate. And shortly after we found out that we were having a new company come in to take care of the food and beverage, I had a resident that wants to know, since our restaurant is having a private management taking over, will we still have to subsidize through our HOA? If not, where will that money go? So we were subsidizing $17.45 per household, correct? We have 3,327 homes, so we're getting over $58,000 a month. So where will that money go if we're no longer having to use it?
Clyde,
Nobody's ever said that that food and beverage would actually be profitable, or even break even.
We hope so.
Would have to happen for it to no longer have to be subsidized. Food and beverage will always remain an amenity. In fact, when we did our 2025 budget, we put in $669,000 for the budget for food and beverage. So I'm just looking for, obviously, when we look, the results for 2024 for food and beverage, we lost about 850,000. Our goal is to bring it in on budget, and actually our contract with CCL is that if it comes in under budget, that we gain 75% of any under budget amount, so to speak. So in the end, it will be something that will be reduce our dues in the future. That's the goal.
Okay.
But everything has to play into a reduction of our dues, insurance, other costs. I'm not trying to make this complicated, Dee, but you're making it a little too simplistic, I think.
Well, okay, so basically, we will always be subsidizing the restaurant.
We will always be subsidizing the restaurant.
And then it may be more and it may be less.
The goal is it will be less.
Less, we want that, yes. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Virginia Cervantes. I live on the north side. So with that being said, there's two things I want to say or ask pretty much. Number one is I know we have a lot of new homeowners coming in. Lots of them, and it's wonderful, and I love it. But I'd really like to know if Lifestyles, by the approval of the board and the administration, for the next 4 months, and some people might think it's petty, but can they please put down the rules of the pool? Because I know sometimes when that pool is crowded with children, and even though they may have swim diapers, they're still diapers. Please, we need to put this in the magazine for the next 4 months so we don't waste our money in having to drain the pool, put water back into it several times a year. And this happens a lot. So if we can look into that, since Lifestyle is the biggest communication, and I'm sure that all of the homeowners read this, you know, it'd be really good. And I don't mean to say the next 4 months, but this way, there's always new homeowners coming in, if that can be done.
That's a good comment. We appreciate that. I think in reality, last summer we had so many problems with alcohol and whatever. And I believe the problems were solved because we put people there monitoring the situation and posted the rules at the gate. I think that's probably the most effective way of doing it is you hit them on the way in. But point is well taken, and we will consider that. Thank you.
Well, the monitors that were on the north side, there wasn't any last year, which I understand, probably because of money. But when somebody calls security, they come in and they just tell them something and then they walk away. And then an hour later, they're still there doing things against the rules. You call security again. Well, we've already done that, and that's it. So I think putting this rule in the magazine and stating, please observe all the rules. And people are asking, okay, when can our children come? You know, when can they stay longer? Things like that.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah. So the next thing is I live on the north side, right? No. Pardon me? I get a lot of questions. On the north side, I live right by the tee-off at the Executive Course 2. A couple of weeks ago, when I called the police department about the homeless campment, there's about at least now grown, as of this morning, 5 to 6 of them. When I called, the police department told me, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it right now. They've been informed. Let's call, why don't you call code enforcement? And I did. I called code enforcement and I told them that is private property. Those people are trespassing on private property. Therefore, they shouldn't be there. So the gentleman told me, Mr. Martinez from code enforcement stated that tomorrow they're going to start doing the weed abatement, which they did, but not good enough, because right behind my neighbor across the street, there's a tree there that's on the other side of the wall, and they're hovering under the tree.
Excuse me, Virginia. We appreciate your comments, but there are other people who would like to make comments as well. And the purpose of comments and questions is not to debate and solve problems.
No,
in this
I'm not debating anything.
So what I'm suggesting is if there's something specific example like that that needs to have the board attention, please submit it to message to management and it will get to us so we can look at it. This is not the forum to solve those kind of problems.
No, of course not. It's only about safety.
Thank you. Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive.
You got to be the 3-minute monitor?
Yes, sir. I got that. I need to have you stay up.
Hi, Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive. Welcome, new board, management, and residents. I'm quite pleased that you're able to get a door fee of at $1,663,500, and that is a great accomplishment. I do hope that you provide some accountability of how that money is spent, that you give us a running track record of where it went. My assumption is you're going to be doing some coverage of cash flow shortages. My problem is I haven't heard a lot of forecasting of where we stand in our budget process to fix expenses are higher than revenue. So I'd like to have, like Sandra, I think, was trying to do some variance reporting, some better reporting of forecasting of where we stand. My hope is that you've already incorporated into your next budget and you've allocated how to make up the $100,000 that you need in insurance, instead of waiting until the last meeting to find out we're still short $100,000. I received yesterday a copy of the Spectrum agreement. I do feel that you missed out on the opportunity and you took advantage of us, the residents. You were able to strike a deal because of 3,327 homes, and you put into a contract, which is very fine rating, a setting that we're going to be moving to Wi-Fi, cloud services, and you're going to be swapping equipment out. There was no conversion time frame that says that we will ship it to the resident. They need to install it themselves. A lot of us were used to picking up the phone and having Spectrum technicians show us how to make things work or make it work out right. As you may know, I'm a Dodger guy, and I love Lakers. In my analysis of working with Spectrum new account services, I will not be able, under the current package, be able to watch them. I do not have Spectrum Sportsnet in the agreement that you have. My understanding is I'm going to have to be a mobile customer of Spectrum, and I got to convert one of my phone lines over to them. After spending some time with the rep, he suggested that for $3.60 a month, I get a phone from them that makes me a mobile customer to get the Sportsnet. My bottom line is I hope that you provide better guidance in how we're going to do conversion. What is it going to take to get there? What's the impact to the residents? I think that you are undervaluing. So I'd like to suggest that you take $250,000 and you put it aside to help us get to the new system and what is it going to take. And that may be a high number, but I think you cannot discount the discord you may uncover in trying to make this work. Last thing is that you've got 3 board members, and I've at my 3 minutes. My hope is that you will now be able to do better financial planning, forecasting, and be able to make sure that this year we meet budget and we're ahead of budget instead of saying, oh man, we didn't meet budget again this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle.
I don't have any complaints. I'm just telling, I want to let everybody know, I do the community awareness program, and we have it this Tuesday, May 6th from 1 to 3 o'clock here in the main ballroom. Amber Rockwell, she's a core city manager, City of Banning Electric Utility. And then Isaac Nelson and Tom Wall from Synergy Companies is coming. And if you happen to go to EPAP's meeting, these people were there. They gave a fantastic presentation. And they have programs offered by the City of Banning Electric Utility, and an energy quiz by Tom Wall, outage management and how to get updates, raffle prizes and giveaways, and they'll have questions and answers. So please attend Tuesday, May 6th here in the main ballroom. And then I was contacted by the Banning Chamber of Commerce, and they're in a bit of a pickle right now. 2 staff members are out, and one is on medical leave. The chamber was wondering if anyone might be interested in helping them for a bit. They need someone Monday through Thursday to man the office and answer phones from 9 to 3. If anyone is interested, please call me, and I will get back in touch with the person that contacted me. So if anybody's interested in helping Banning Chamber of Commerce from 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday, please let me know. Thank you.
Is that a paid position?
You know what? I don't think it is, but I'm not sure, Dawn. You know, she didn't tell me that much, but I'm not sure if it's a paid position. It could be.
Okay, thanks.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
This section here is board member comments. Sandra, anything you'd like to share?
Just briefly, Dawn, I think we talked about election results, and I've had a number of folks ask me, and I just want to make sure residents are aware that the vote count election results by district are available on the website. When you log in, Board of Directors, elections, and then you'll see the April 10th listing. So whether we can send an email blast out, I think Chris was nodding yes, just to let residents know. Other than that, I'm very glad to be here, and thank you for your support, and look forward to seeing you more of you here in the ballroom.
Thanks, Bob.
Yes, I just want to thank all of the committee chairs and the district delegates for all the hard work and dedication they have committed to our community here. And if you guys want a seat up front, cost you a little bit of time, but it's worth it. So apply, get involved in our community, either as a delegate or a chairperson, and you'll appreciate it. It'll keep you younger. Look at Joe. He made it to still alive, over 100. Joe from Minot. And the other thing is that during this transition time, with a new food and beverage and a new board and everything, I want people to be supportive and patient, because good things are coming, and I think you'll like the results. So hang in there, and I'm really looking forward to this new board and this new food and beverage. Thank you.
Gary?
Well, all right. I just want to thank the volunteers here, the chair people of the committees, and the district delegates. We, as a board, strive to do the best we can, but it takes more than the 5 of us to really get things done. So I just want to thank district delegates and the committee chairs. Thank you.
My first meeting. I like the new format. I think it's great. I think there's power in the room with the people that give, with having the advisory, and we look forward to moving forward and doing more with you this year and empowering you more to help us. It takes a big team. District delegates, thank you for being here. I think it's important. Major part of our community with regards to volunteerism. Thank you so much. I have one comment, sir. To the people of Sun Lakes, this group sitting here right now is committed to doing the very best they can each and every day, and we are all on the same page. I just want that to be known. So, thank you.
Thank you. The only comment I'd like to make is support our food and beverage as they learn to figure us out. And I hope you enjoy the direction we're going with the board meeting, involving delegates, committee chairs more, and being more open and transparent with what we're working on, and willing to field questions. So nobody else, anything else? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.